Please greet somebody real quick. Just say, hey, how y'all doing? Amen. Greet somebody. I love us for us to be. If we're going to eat at the table, we're supposed to greet each other before you eat each other. Amen.
Hey, right.
If you want to eat at a table that you ain't met nobody, you don't know who they are. Amen.
Amen.
So we thank God for what he's doing. I do not intend to be before you long today. Amen. I just want to share a brief word that the Lord put in my heart to share with you this morning. You would go with me to the book of Psalm. Psalms, the let's see here, 60th first chapter, 61st chapter. You go over to Psalm 61. Amen. And then if you can find Psalms 42, just kind of put a mark in Psalms 42. Praise the Lord. We thank God for Brother and Sister Zachary for being here. And we just bless God for them. Every time we see them, they've just shown themselves so friendly and so faithful. Amen. We just thank God for them being so kind and nice to just come and be with us. They don't have to, but they just come. And I hope they feel at home. We hope they feel at home. All right, Psalm 61. Amen. The word of God reads, hear my cry, O God, attend unto my prayer. From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me, and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. Selah. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Thou wilt prolong the king's life, and his years as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth with which may preserve him. So will I sing praises unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. This morning I want to talk from the subject, faith, prayer, and praise is the appropriate response. Can y'all say that with me? Faith, prayer, and praise is the appropriate response. Man, this lesson here that I want to share with you this morning from the book of Psalm 61 points out another opportunity for us to respond to going through. Amen. We've been eating off of that word for a long time. The Lord has just been kind of helping us to understand how we respond to trials. How do we respond to struggle? How do we respond to hardship? Amen. And the word came to me this morning. Amen. I stayed up pretty late last night cleaning the house and nesting with my wife. Amen. And getting ready for this little girl. Amen. And I enjoyed doing what I had to do. It felt real good to wake up this morning seeing the fruit of my labor. Amen. And Sister Porter woke up, felt like she was in another house. She did thumbs up, said, oh, I like it up. She said, I like it, honey. It looks bigger in here. I said, that's all I wanted to hear. Amen. Right. Amen. And so it reminds us how, the word reminds us how when we are going through stuff, we need to have the right attitude. We need to understand what's going on, because then you actually can make it through. You know, it's no fun going through something, grumbling and complaining. It really don't change anything. It just makes it worse. It makes the situation worse. In fact, if I'm already miserable, if I start complaining about how miserable I am, it makes my situation even more miserable than it was. Amen? And then what happens is with misery loves company. And I start dragging other folks. And then they start getting on my nerves, and they start becoming miserable. They become miserable, and they make mine miserable even more miserable. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Amen. And so how do we respond to these things? Amen. If you would, turn with me to the book of Luke. Amen. 2nd chapter, I want to share something with you. And we're going to tie these two references together. Luke, the 2nd chapter. Amen. Here we see Jesus as a young boy. Amen. Let's go to verse 41. Our key scripture is verse 49. It says, now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. But they, supposing him to have been in the company, in other words, with them, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answer. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Why hast thou thus dealt with us this way? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. You done made us sad. You done worried us to death. Verse 49, key verse here, says, and he said unto them, how is it that thou sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business? In other words, he says, did you know I had to be in my father's house? Why are you searching for me? Why are you worried about me? Don't you know when you know I'm in my father's house? Amen. And in the 5th verse it said, and they understood not the saying which he spoke unto them. Listen, when you are going through and people are trying to figure out where you are with certain things, your answer really should be, I'm in my father's house. That's where I'm at. I'm going to church. I'm going to find me some word. I'm going to get me some scripture. I'm going to go before the Lord in prayer. I'm going to use my faith. The little faith that I got, it might be the size of a mustard seed, but that's all I need. I'm going to be in my Father's house seeking his will for my life, for my situation. Amen. And then when I give him my faith and my prayer, then I know it's going to lead me right to my praise. And God dwells in the praises of his people. Amen. And so Mary and Joseph, the psalmist, all of them are going through something. The psalmist is going through a place where he's away from his family, he's away from his friends, he's away from his support system, he's away from things that he was accustomed to. Amen. In this psalm we see here, this is a prayer in times of need. He's in a place where he's needing the Lord. Anybody ever had a need from the Lord where you just needed God so bad? I mean, you didn't even want to tell your wife what you needed God for. You didn't want to tell your husband what you needed God for. It was something you really didn't want to share because, you needed it from God. You didn't want to put the burden on your loved one, but you needed God to do something. Oh, when you need God to move something, there is something on the inside. It kind of reminds us in the book of Psalms 42. That's why I asked you to go in. He said, as the deer panted for the water, so does my soul thirst for thee. Yes, sir. Amen. And did you not know that also in Psalms 42 and 11, he said that God is the health of my countenance. In other words, God fixes my face. God straightens up my countenance. He takes my sad and gloom and doom look and puts a smile on my face. Oh, ain't that all right? Amen. God is the help. Come on, say it. God is the help.
God is the help
of my countenance. He helps me to look better, feel better, act better, do better. He fixes me up. He's just all I need. Come on, say he's all I need. Amen. Faith, prayer, and praise is the appropriate response. When we are lost, when we're struggling, when we are in this place where this psalmist is, amen, it shows us how prayer is the cure for anxiety. It is the cure for when we are overwhelmed, amen. Prayer, amen, faith in God is the cure. And when we have confidence in our God, prayer through faith leads us. I mean, it literally takes us by the hand. When you're praying, and when you find yourself before the Lord and travailing before the Lord for whatever it is you need, sometimes you just need to fall on your knees. Sometimes you just need to say, Lord, you know more than I can tell you. Lord, I can't tell you how bad I need you right now. Oh, y'all ever need the Lord that bad when you say, Lord, I can't breathe without you. I can't even think without you. I can't sleep without you, God. I can't even rest without you. I'm nothing without you. God doesn't mind being needed. In fact, God don't mind you being the stalker. Amen. For the word said in Psalm 42, he said, as the deer pant for the water, my soul thirsts for thee. That's stalking. Amen. For the word said that goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives. Look at today and say, I believe something's following me. Oh, glory to his name. I want goodness and mercy to follow me all the days of my life. Oh, what's that behind me? I want goodness and mercy to follow me. I see something. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I want the Lord to bless me. I want him to follow me. Goodness and mercy. It's on my ear. It's on my tail. It's just following me. Watching over me. Man, this is the right response. I got to have faith that goodness and mercy is following me. I got to pray, amen, and believe God when I don't feel his presence. When I feel like he's away from me like Mary and Joseph. I thought he was with me. I found myself going to and fro doing what I thought I needed to do. I went and did what I was supposed to do. I went to church like it was tradition. It says that Mary and Joseph went to the feast as they was traditionally called to do. They did what they were supposed to do, but when they got going, they felt Jesus so much that they got to their loved one's home. Get this now. They got to where they were supposed to be. Listen, y'all. Sometimes we have God such in our heart that we realize he's there. But for a second or so, we get comfortable with him being there, and we don't even check in with him. We assume he's somewhere around. Oh my God, we got to be careful when we don't know where God is in our hearts. We got to be careful when we don't know where Jesus is, whether he's in us or not. That's why we have to be really careful not to just accept any and every teaching, any and every doctrine. We have to understand that God will make sure that his presence is known. But when they begin to look, they got all the way to their kinfolk's home, and they figured, oh, Jesus must be running around with his little cousin them or something. But they couldn't find it. When they looked for him, they said, let's go look and see if he's over Cousin Betty's house. Let's go see if he's over Cousin Judy's house. Let's go see if he's over Cousin Raymond's house. And let's go over there and pop out in the house. Or let's go over here, and they couldn't find him nowhere. You ever been in a situation where you needed the Lord and couldn't find him? Lord, my bills are getting cut off. My lights are turned off. My water's turned off. My son is in jail. My daughter's in hell. Lord, I don't know what to do. My family's falling apart. I thought you was with me. I just came from church. I heard the preacher at the revival. I got in the prayer line. I gave my offering. I sowed a seed. And I'm still losing my car. I'm still losing my house. I sold that offering in faith, believing that you was going to do it. While you're looking, you need to understand that Jesus is only one place, in his Father's house, taking care of the Father's business. And if you find yourself not knowing where he is, then you need to go to your Father's house. And I promise you, if you go to your Father's house, you'll find him. Oh, I know so many people right now who are going through, and they are going through because they haven't been to their Father's house. The son, the prodigal son, found himself in the pig pen after being in the house of friends and buddies who he thought were so-called friends. And after the money was gone, so were they. But when he realized that, hey, my father got servants in his house who eat better than me, I don't have to eat the big slop. I'm going to get myself together and go back home to my father. Come on, tell you, let's get ourselves together and go back to the father.
Hallelujah.
It requires faith. Faith. It requires faith that God will forgive me of my sins. Amen. Some of us don't believe God can forgive us. Some of us don't believe God can heal us. Some of us don't believe God can make a way out of no way. It requires faith. He said if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can tell the mountain be cast into the sea. Oh, just after seeing a hurricane come through. We saw a few months ago a hurricane came to Japan and washed away so much. Washed away mountains, cities, towns. Glory to his name. That's the power of faith. But God would also save us in the midst of struggle. For the word tells us that he is a very present help in our times of struggle. Psalm 61 verse 2 tells us that in great need, amen, that God is not interested in us simply uttering a prayer to him. But he wants us to cry out unto him and to ring that cry out, amen, with an earnest plea that God will hear us. He wants a sincere heart. He wants us to cry out unto him, amen. You know when your child is pretending or not. Oh yeah, I can tell when my daughter really is crying for real. It is something about her cry that makes me respond. Amen. And I know that if you want me to respond, you got to do it the right way. God is saying the same thing. If you cry out unto me with a contrite spirit and with a sincere heart, I will come to your aid. Yes. This psalm is right now in 61. Amen. Is far from home and far from his friends, and on those, he's far from those places and those people whose support he has relied upon. Listen, we know sometimes the things we used to do took care of us very well. Oh, well, y'all can talk back to me. Y'all know we used to get our hustle on the things we would do. Amen. It served us well. We got what we wanted. Amen. We dealt with people in business. We had no business, and what you didn't know didn't hurt nobody. Amen. We did what we had to do, and when you find yourself changed in God, amen, you are a new person. You are no longer able to rely on the things of the past. Amen. For we put those things behind us and press towards the mark of the high calling. So when you can't rely on lying and cheating and stealing no more, you find yourself in a place where you need God.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
The psalmist feels that he is calling to God from the ends of the earth. Look at what he says in 62, amen, verse 2, amen, part B. It says, thou hast made the earth tremble, amen, He says, from the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. From the end of it, he feels like he's at the end of his rope. He feels like he's at the farthest end from God. He feels so far away. He said, I'm calling from you from the end of the earth, oh God. I'm about to fall over. I'm on the very edge. I don't know if I can hang on much longer, God. I'm slipping. Help me, Lord. Y'all ever felt yourself on the end? Psalms 42. Amen, again, tells us that he's a very present help in our time of trouble. Amen. Verse 2 of that same scripture, amen, part B says that when my heart is overwhelmed, Lord, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Amen. When our heart grows faint, in other words, he is discouraged and depressed as he thinks about his enemy, as he thinks about his overcoming, amen, as he thinks about something taking him over. Some of us have some situations that we really don't know what to do with. Amen. We feel it swallowing us up. We feel it covering us up. We feel it taking over us. Amen. We feel it changing us. We feel like something's getting ready to happen to us, and it ain't a good thing. We feel ourselves like a hook out. Amen. We feel something coming out of us, and we know it's not of God. And here, the psalmist is discouraged. Ever been discouraged? He's depressed. See, when you get one or the other, amen, one or the other will cause that one to come up. Amen. They go together.